If you can't lose stubborn belly fat no matter how hard you try, then you're gonna wanna pay close attention to what I'm about to show you. All right, so what I have here is a muffin tin. But what this muffin tin is gonna represent is what are called fat wells inside your body. Fat wells are what hold on to fat when we consume it, or what hold on to excess calories in the way of fat. And what I have here is lard. And what this lard is gonna represent is, well, body fat. So what I'm gonna do is show you that by putting these in these fat wells, we are showing exactly what is happening in our body. This is what it's gonna look like when our fat wells are full. Whenever we go on any kind of low-calorie diet or anything like that, sure, we have a little bit of fat that gets burned. So if these fat wells represent all the fat in our body, maybe when we go on a low-calorie diet, we might lose something like this. You see, just the top layer of fat wells are now empty, but we still have all these other layers of fat wells that are full of fat. So then, when we eat again, we're just piling it right on top again. So when it comes down to intermittent fasting and it comes down to actually really revving up your body's metabolism, we don't just scrape off that first layer of fat out of the fat wells. What happens is we tap in to all the layers. Because we're not eating every 2 hours and filling up our fat wells with fat all the time, our body's actually able to tap into our stored body fat and really get us in the shape that we want. But something really amazing happens after you've been fasting for just a couple of weeks. You see, your body gets so used to being able to burn fat that it actually turns off the ability to store it. So imagine we have our fat wells here with our muffin tin, and now we've been fasting and we can put some saran wrap over it. So now our body does not store the fat anymore. Now, every time we eat, and our body would normally store it, our bodies are so resilient and have such an ability to burn fat that it just doesn't get stored in the fat wells. It doesn't get recessed into our body and it doesn't get stored as body fat. Essentially, our body just says, wait a minute, this needs to be used as energy, and it doesn't store it in the fat wells, and it goes right back to being used as energy. Now that's just one of the many benefits of intermittent fasting. You see, we have lots of other benefits like hormone effects. Like we can actually trigger our body to produce more of the fat burning hormones. Also, you end up having this thing called stomach distensibility, where your stomach actually shrinks. And when your stomach shrinks, it makes it a lot easier to go throughout the day without having a burning desire to eat all of the time. But then additionally, fasting has other benefits like immune system effects, but also the ability to absorb nutrients better, which means that you're going to be able to absorb more of the food that you're actually eating in a positive way to nourish your body. Now, of course, you're also going to be mentally sharper and have a lot more cognitive function, which is something that a lot of people don't realize happens when you're intermittent fasting. But then we have some other benefits that come just with your lifestyle. You see, you're not having to stop and eat every 2 hours when you're fasting. By intermittent fasting, you're making life a lot easier. It's also making it so you're not having to prep meals all the time. You're in a position where you can roll right into your day without having to stop and prep meals and put them in Tupperware every 5 minutes. But the other thing that's really awesome is you're not gonna end up spending loads of money at the grocery store. You're gonna be able to get by with a lot less food and still be able to maximize your results and never fill up your fat wells so you can get in amazing shape. So I've actually created an entire science-based program that teaches you how to intermittent fast properly and how to really leverage the break fast meal, the meal that you eat right at the end of your fasting period, because honestly, that's when it is the most important. And for those of you that don't know me, I lost 100 pounds, and intermittent fasting was a huge, huge part of my journey. I wasn't always the person that you see in front of you right now. Now, the other thing that we have to consider is all the different myths that are out there surrounding intermittent fasting. So I'm gonna make sure that I debunk those. I'm gonna make sure that I explain them in exquisite detail. And if you watch this full video, I will share with you everything you need to know about fasting, but also everything you need to know about transforming your body, shedding belly fat, and getting the six-pack abs that you want now. So head on over to SixPackAbs.com and check out the free video that I've posted up there that'll explain everything you need to know. I'll see you there.